Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. And always delighted to have my friend Mike Rotondo on the show. He's with Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and now he's a regular contributor on the program. And the reason why we got him on is because, in my opinion, there's just so much happening in the economic front, with so many business professionals, particularly in the energy field, who are really kind of been forced to change careers and looking for the next right thing to do. And I'm a big believer in franchises, particularly for those who have worked in high-level positions, and are very successful in whatever their niche is, because they're an engineer. They're highly intelligent, but it doesn't mean they know how to do all of the necessary elements in order to be a successful business person. And so being able to have the advantages that come with a business plan and the business model that is automatic in a franchise makes perfect sense. And this particular franchise was what's going on out there with attitudes about health and living longer. And when you look at the baby boomers in particular and that demographics interest in improving their life, it just makes perfect sense. Mike, is always good to talk to you.
Yeah, good to be on.
Real quickly, kind of give us the story of your company.
Yeah, so Tropical Smoothie was founded in 1997, and so it's been around a long time. The brand started out just selling smoothies, and then they very quickly learned that they needed to sell food with the smoothies. So they focused on that better for you, kind of the healthier customer that's looking for, the food items, not necessarily going crazy healthful, but just better for you. So better than that burger and fries. We're in 38 states. We have 454 locations. We are having another great year this year. So in those 38 states, 454 locations, our comp sales are up 11% versus last year. And last year we were up 11.4% versus the previous year. So we are double-digit growth, over double-digit growth, and majority of that growth is coming from transactions.
Yeah.
So that's really what's exciting for us is we've got more people coming in our cafes than ever before.
Well, I got to tell you, there's so many people out there, and I can attest to that, by the way, and your cafes are so cool. And the great thing about those who are living in Houston who are considering a franchise like this, to my knowledge, you still only have the one on the far west side. You got plenty of opportunity in the rest of the city.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Jignish is the one. He opened that one in Richmond, and he has signed another franchise agreement. So he'll be opening his second. But then, we see plenty of opportunities in Houston.
Yeah, this is Captain Obvious chiming in, but people don't get a second franchise agreement unless it's working for them.
Right. Well, interesting note is that we, I think over the past couple of years, 60% of our new signed agreements that we do are with existing franchisees. So more than half of the franchise agreements we award annually go to existing franchisees. So I think that's a pretty good sign for us.
I think it's a fantastic sign. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, man, I wish I'd gotten into McDonald's when McDonald's first got started, or Subway, or, and really they say it about a ton of different franchises, and to me, this is just such a franchise because it's fresh, it's unique, it's healthy, it's affordable. Not only is it affordable in terms of buying the franchise, I think it's a very good value based on the numbers you and I discussed, but I mean, the product itself is affordable. People don't cringe at the thought of going and spending money at your place from a cost perspective, but the quality is really high. To me, it's just a perfect reflection of what's going on economically and demographically right now, and early on is the time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see it's funny because, Texas is kind of coming together as is Georgia right now. We had a few stores open in Georgia, and then as soon as we started really getting about 5 or 6 or 7 stores open, now the growth is coming fast. I mean, we've had 2 people this year sign 10 packs in Georgia, so Georgia's going to start exploding. We expect the same thing in Texas. We had the last time I was in town, Kevin, we stopped by, and we had kind of a meet and greet at our cafe in Houston, and we've gotten several applications in-house from that event, and we're expecting at least probably 4 more deals signed before the end of the year in Houston.
Awesome. That's fantastic. And what did you call that? A 10-and-1? Is that what you said? What was that?
It was a 10-pack. So a
10-pack.
franchisee has bought 10 franchise agreements to open up in 2 counties in Georgia. So there's 2 folks that did that. So in the next few years, we'll be up to 30, 40 cafes in Georgia. And, we think Houston could have 30 cafes themselves.
Yeah. And right now the whole state only has 10.
Right.
And so it seems like to me that now's the time to get on that particular program.
Well, and the thing, again, that is unique about us, as people think about, they think about Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and they compare us to the other places that just sell smoothies. And so we're different than them. Our average unit volume is much higher, and our business is split. 60% of the business is smoothie, 40% of the business is food. So our majority of our sales come in between 11 and 2.
Wow.
So it is not just a smoothie place. We have great food made fresh in the location. It's not prepackaged food that we're just warming up. These are wraps and sandwiches and flatbreads that we're making. So it's a balanced model. So we get the people in the morning, we get the breakfast smoothie drinkers, we get the lunch people that come in for food and a smoothie. We get the afternoon snack people. We get the dinner people. So the model works all day long as opposed to just those day parts where the smoothie-only concepts go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fantastic. And, and again, I look at the whole greater Houston area and Richmond, frankly, of all the places, because, again, how almost newer or younger, driven consumer in my mind, would gravitate towards the product. Richmond doesn't even seem like the most logical place in the greater Houston area. Seems like there'd be like 4 or 5 other areas that would have them before Richmond, but the one in Richmond is blowing and going.
Yeah, he's doing well. And I think, he got in there early. It was going to be a Starbucks, and then Starbucks walked away from it, and he took over the location. And now there's a lot growing around him. So he got in there early. He knew he was early, but it's paying off for him now. But you're probably thinking more like Deer Park, Greater Heights, Cloverleaf, Sugarland. Is that kind of more
Montrose, West U? Those all seem like logical places for something like you're talking about.
Absolutely, we couldn't agree more. And then we also just signed an agreement for somebody to develop West Texas. So, Midland, Lubbock, that area around College and right across the street from the college in Lubbock. So Texas in general is coming on really strong for Tropical Smoothie right now. And we think Houston can be a great, great spot for us.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And we want to encourage people to learn more about that, by the way. And what's the website for the franchise?
Yeah, they can just go to tropicalsmoothiecafe.com or tropicalsmoothie.com.
Tropicalsmoothie.com.
Right, and then there's a link on there for franchise development, so you can learn more about franchising. All of our FAQs are in there, the costs are in there, and somebody, you fill out just a few questions on there. Somebody from our franchise development department, Jennifer Folger, is who takes care of that state. And we're pretty quick to getting back to people, and we'd love to get enough people interested to where I'd come back out there and do another meet and greet.
I think that'd be a great idea, and make sure you let us know, and we can have you in the studio as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike Rotondo, he is a regular on The Price of Business. He's with Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and I'm telling you, if you've had a career shift because of what's happened in the energy industry, you'd like to kind of control your own destiny, which I think is the American dream, and you may be tired of going back into engineering or oil-related, I tell you, this might be an ideal thing to look at. And tropicalsmoothie.com. Thanks so much, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have more for you. I want to remind you the best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com, and you're listening to The Price of Business.